Alright, I'm Otto, and Otto the Comic on the internet. And the Kick Axe guys interviewed me once, and I'm going to try to do a question of the week. And the first question was, what was it like growing up in the atomic age? And actually, I'm a bit younger than that. I was born in 1958. I remember stuff early at age, though, really early. I have a great memory of my youth. I remember John F. Kennedy getting killed. I don't remember too many atomic bomb scares. When John F. Kennedy got killed, everybody was crying everywhere. I was just a little kid, super little. TV was pretty limited back then. The Flintstones was a nighttime TV show when I was a kid. Lawrence Welk was the big show of the week. We watched that on Saturdays with Grandma. It was awesome. I had a perfect childhood. Great house, super duper food, nice neighborhoods. Mom and Dad were awesome. What I do remember about my youth a lot is the weather. It's kind of crazy because the weather is so, apparent now. It never felt deadly when I was a kid, the weather. I could stay out in the sun all day without a shirt on. Even in June, I never get a sunburn. Now I set my timer if I'm going to sit in the sun. My parents were still young in the 60s, so they had cocktail parties with their friends. That happened every now and then. Those are pretty crazy. My Aunt Mary at parties would say, "Oh, that was a riot," if it was a good party. And then when I was a kid, I saw on TV Detroit was having riots. And I'm like, wow, they must really be having fun if it's on TV. Detroit knows how to party, I guess. So I was growing up in New Jersey between ages 3 and 9. Left Staten Island in 1961. Life was just great then, especially before I had to go to school. My job was to stay outside and play, and then come inside to eat. We had a big family, and we weren't allowed to fight, so it was happy all the time, all the time. Mom and Dad never fought either, and if we did something wrong, they'd just talk it out with us. So it was really cool. Then in junior high school, I found how rare loving family was. I remember being in the car with my dad paying 29 cents for a gallon of gas. 4 guys would swarm on the car like a NASCAR pit stop. Check the air, the tires, the water, the windshield, the transmission fluid. And there's cash all the time. Didn't even know what credit was back then. It's 1961, we got a brand new Dodge Polaris station wagon. It had the smaller fins, the last year of the fins. Back then, before that, man, all the cars were badass, gigantic fins. Cars could weigh 6,000 pounds, no problem. Gas was 29 cents. Back then, there also wasn't any junkers on the road. You had to have your car inspected. So if your car was a piece of crap, you couldn't drive. So that was pretty cool. Our whole family fit in the old wagon, and the back seat faced backwards, so you could make faces at the people in the car behind you. We'd go to the drive-in food places, and the girls were still on the skates way back then. It was so awesome. Root beer as thick as you wanted. Yeah, I'll have just pure syrup, please. That would be just fine. In 1964, I was 6. My grandma got a brand new Buick Special, a V6 it had. And my dad thought they were all crazy because it didn't have a V8. She'd take us all over the place in that thing. Dairy Queen was just coming to town back then. That was pretty special because everything else was mom and pop, and Dairy Queen was pretty crazy. We'd have Mr. Misty races at Dairy Queen. Race to the bottom. Hamburgers were 8 cents. I had no idea the world's troubles back then. One of my friends was in 3rd grade. His dad was in Vietnam, but I didn't know what war was. And I knew lots of people were dying on the highways because there was a little jingle, "Stay alive on Route 35. All the cars are going 70, big giant blobs of steel, no seat belts. But that's way safer than today with all the distractions. Cell phones, texting, people watching movies as they drive, and whatnot. Even eating is a big enough distraction. So, the year before kindergarten, my friend had to go to school, and I realized, man, this is it. Life cannot get better than this. Everyone had to go to school, my dad had to go to work, and all I had to do was stay outside and play. So in 1968, we came to Indiana. Life moved a little slower, kind of freaked me out. The atomic threat was pretty much over by then. 1968 was pretty calm. Vietnam was calming down. And now it's 2011. The weather's going to kill you. And who knows what small group of nut jobs is going to blow the whole planet up. I don't know.